We're talking 5 NBA players who have something to prove in this upcoming 2018/2019 season, and we're going to begin this video with Kevin Love, who the Cleveland Cavaliers are now banking on to leave them at least somewhat relevant after LeBron has left. But I think they also see him as a potential future trade chip for draft picks, young players, while also helping out Colin Sexton with his rookie season and maybe his second and third years as well. Kevin Love was a beast with the T-Wolves. From a box score standpoint, he was one of the best guys in the league. What was the numbers at one time? It was like 23 points and 12, 13 rebounds a game, ability to post up. He could go off the dribble. He could shoot three-pointers, but of course, as LeBron James' teammate, the guy was more of a spot shooter, post up sometimes when LeBron feels like throwing it down to him. But now, I mean, he's going to have the number one option on this team, and it's a matter of how good is Kevin Love. Can he just flip the switch and get back to that Minnesota Love where he's leading the team in shot attempts? Also, is Tyronn Lue ready to draw up more sets to get Kevin Love involved? Because for the last 4 seasons, it was give LeBron the ball. We're going to have to see. I would have to probably side with Kevin Love being pretty damn good moving forward for them. Next up, Hassan Whiteside, who looked really bad in the round 1 series against Philadelphia. The NBA is just moving in a direction that Whiteside is not really ready for, and it does not help that a lot of the character issues that plagued him early on in his career, they do seem to be coming up. Now, I will give him credit. He did seem like a model citizen once he had accepted that he wasn't going to get all the minutes in the world for Miami, but there was definitely some rough patches along the way there, and he did not seem all the way invested when he actually did get minutes for them against the 76ers. He's just got to focus on the things he does well, which is grabbing rebounds on both sides of the floor, protecting the basket, setting screens, and being pretty good in transition. His problem is, of course, he kills Miami's spacing, and they were much better with Kelly Olynyk than they were Whiteside. And then also, he's not the best at defending outside of the paint, but he's just going to have to figure it out, because if he doesn't, then we could be looking at a guy who is one of the least valuable players in the NBA, given that he's making over $20 million a season for the Miami Heat. I mean, that would be a massive black hole on their books if they have a guy in Whiteside who, sure, maybe he's not going to be Joakim Noah levels of bad, but if he's only able to play 15 to 25 minutes a game for you on that contract, that's really rough. But I do give him a chance to figure it out, but we're going to have to see what happens with him. Eric Bledsoe was acquired by the Milwaukee Bucks in the beginning of last season after Phoenix and his infamous "I don't want to be here" tweet. Whether he was actually talking about being at a salon or not, I mean, I think we all can figure that one out. He wasn't that great for the Bucks. I mean, he wasn't bad. You could say that he was still an upgrade over what they had before him, which was kind of nothing, besides the occasional Malcolm Brogdon point guard start. But the guy is he's just an average point guard at this point, and you would hope that he could really step up and get back to what he was his last season with the Clippers and then his first couple years with the Suns, which was one of the best defensive guards in the league, strong as hell, and relentless attacking the basket, as he put up about 17 points and about 6 assists per game. And I mean, sure, he only played half the season, but we remember that one year he had when Phoenix was supposed to be a lottery team and they won like 47, 48 games. He was a big part of it, even though, once again, he only played like 40 games or something that year. And while I think Chris Middleton has emerged as the number 2 option for Giannis, having a third option who can go off the dribble effectively would be huge, because Middleton, he's more of like a shooter, and occasionally he'll go off the dribble. So Bledsoe with Mike Budenholzer locked in could create a pretty dynamic offense for the Milwaukee Bucks, but it's a matter of what is Eric Bledsoe in 2018. Is he one of the better points in the league? Is he towards like the bottom tier? We're going to have to find out. Speaking of point guards, Markelle Fultz had himself a doozy of a rookie season. I don't know if he played enough for it to qualify as a rookie year. I assume he did, but who knows. The jump shot is what it is. Hopefully he can just get to being respectable from there. I mean, teams are going to dare him to shoot, so we're going to have to see on those. But even if that isn't ever going to come back, which, I mean, that sucks because that definitely knocks down his stock as a guy who was looked at as being a franchise leader, that doesn't mean he still doesn't have value, because for as much as his jumper was praised coming out of college, his ball handling and his scoring overall are a big deal as well. The dude kind of has like some Derrick Rose, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker to him, where he'll break your ankles, he'll run a pick and roll effectively, and he'll have an array of floaters and pull-up jump shots, and I mean, hell, just his verticality at the basket is pretty damn impressive as well. So he could still be something for this upcoming season and then moving forward in his career. That's what we're going to have to hope for, because if he's going to be this shell of himself who's afraid to shoot and teams leave him wide open and he's just hesitant and the confidence is not there, then that could go down as one of the biggest busts in the history of sports, let alone the NBA. Because for Philadelphia to trade their, the third pick in the draft, I believe, and then a future draft pick in order to select Fultz number 1, if he just ended up being just really like average or potentially even below average for them, that would be a disaster. So hopefully that doesn't happen. And then finally, DeMarcus Cousins. I am a firm member of the DeMarcus Cousins hater club. I do not hide this. But that being said, I can't deny the guy's talent, and I do hope that he has a bounce-back season where he was really good for the Pelicans, and then, of course, he got injured, and then nobody wanted to offer him a contract, and now he's really trying to prove to the rest of the NBA that he's still got it, that he is deserving of a multi-year deal where he can make close to $100 million. I don't know if he can actually get that now, but I mean, we all know he's not going to be on the Warriors past this season, so it's a matter of showing everybody he can still move, he can play within a system, he can coexist with someone like a Draymond Green, because I'm sure those two are going to butt heads throughout the season. Can he listen to a head coach in Steve Kerr? These are all questions that have followed Cousins, and I have been saying no to these things for the last few seasons, but I do recognize the opportunity the guy has, and hopefully he can figure it out. Now, of course, he's not going to play the entire season, but we have to assume, bare minimum, he's going to play the second half of the season, and then for the entire Warriors postseason run, which is probably going to go all the way to the NBA Finals. Another big question is, how is he going to be on defense? Because Warriors like to switch, and if you're going to have DeMarcus Cousins defending perimeter players, that could be a problem. But if you're also going to have DeMarcus Cousins with an Achilles injury defending guards and small forwards, then that could be really rough. So we'll have to see with Boogie. He has a chance to prove to the rest of the NBA that you guys should have given me a 4 or 5 year deal, and now you're all going to pay for it because I'm going to get a free championship on the Warriors.